Morning, y'all. November 29th, 2018. Today I want to talk a little bit about conscientiousness. It's like a little bit. Oh, he never talks a little bit about anything. It's like history. What I want to call conscientiousness, I've talked about personal self-consciousness, the fact that our soul spirit is immortal and that our soul is divine and that it'll live on after death, as we know. And today I want to take that to the next level, just like the Zen Buddhist in a way. And I would look at it as we got to walk through and we want to reflect on the things we do. And we want to have time for reflection. But we need what Kierkegaard called double reflection. And what Hegel called a phenomenology of spirit. And this is the same thing as the Buddhist who would say it. You want to recognize what you're doing while you're doing it. So it's not about going to the pool and meeting a pretty girl and having a lot of fun and eating and drinking and all the things you can do. It's about thinking about it while you're doing it. Now, everyone has the capacity to reflect while they're doing it. It's hard to get a grip on it, though, when you first hear it. You got to think about like driving a car or riding a lawnmower or something where you're engaged and can think about something else while you're doing a task. Yeah, they say multitasking because people do 10 things and get 3 wrong, but you got a spell checker, right? It's more than that. It's not multitasking with your brain or some kind of trite Sesame Street BS. You got to train your mind to be able to reflect on things as you walk through. Right? And you can't be distracted in life, so you got to do what you're doing. But the idea is when you're doing something you're doing, you want to be able to see, is this good? Is this bad? Is this going to be okay? You don't want to overanalyze, right? Well, maybe you do. People don't analyze enough now. You want to realize, if you meet Raquel Welch, this will make me an old man right now. Raquel Welch, what a woman. If you meet Raquel, it's going to be kind of hard to think about and reflect on hanging out with her because she's going to overwhelm you. And this is another problem. It's a good one to have if you like to be overwhelmed, especially by Raquel. But more than that, people bring us out of it. That's the thing. And when you can walk through with someone who is conscientious together, it's like you're removed, but you're here, but you're thinking, but you're here. It's awesome. It's the best. I still love my friends for this. I can't think of any one of you that I don't talk to alone that it shows itself, that we can reflect while we're walking through. And the reality is this conscientiousness we have allows us to see the things we do under the eye, but it also allows us to see the things going on around us on a deeper level. This is my dog sleeping. He lays like this on my desk. This is what he looks like. You can see. And scratching his head here, right? And what is it? Well, it's a piece of driftwood I found on the edge of Lake Michigan in Frankfort, Michigan, up in Benzie County. And it's my sleeping dog on the beach. And I found this in the surf laying there. And it's pretty amazing. I see things and other things all the time because I walk through in a state of reflection, I suspect. But anyone could. So where you're in reflection, you can perceive and see things as they materialize. Your eyes are always trying to make sense of what you see. Right back to Raquel Welch, eh? It's not that hard. Your brain can connect up right away when you see her. Reality is, you can't think about everything you're doing that deeply, is what people think. But you can. I can hold these grapes up for you, just regular green table grapes here, and show you this. And while I'm telling you about these grapes, I can be reflecting on where these grapes came from in Chile or wherever they're from, and that they're green and sour, and I could be thinking about all the characteristics of these grapes. And, this is what makes you see. Sorry, I couldn't do it without eating one. Nonetheless, the grapes are here. for us. But we should be reflecting on it, what it took to grow them. Can you imagine the massive amounts of acreage it takes to produce enough grapes for us to never run out year round? That's pretty amazing in itself. Humans create phenomena, and that's part of the problem of conscientiousness. We're all phenomenology experts, even though we don't know it. We create experiences that are phenomena. Human phenomena, though, not always spiritual. So back to Kierkegaard, back to Hegel and the Buddhists. The Buddhists would tell us, just like Hegel and Kierkegaard, that the only way to live is to reflect on your life as you're walking through and living. Now, when I talked about language the last couple of days with Wittgenstein and the others, it's the same thing. If you're able to reflect while you're doing it, you're going to see your language may be flawed and be able to correct it. But there are just some things we do that demand our attention so intensely. Conscientiousness, it can be there while it's happening, but you got to be focused. I get it. Perceptions are everything. We perceive ourselves as unto others in the world, and we are perceived by others the way we carry ourselves. But nonetheless, people's perceptions are sometimes askew, oftentimes askew. People's stereotypes, things they don't know, things they don't understand. They malign or put down groups of people, an individual person, a thing in itself, things in all their selves. It's about perceptions of your own self that project the perceptions of others. Nonetheless, you could always meet someone who still wants to judge a book by its cover. Boy, those old cliches really come in handy, even in the middle of winter. Well, the beginning of winter. So what's it all mean? Well, we can walk through in a state of reflection. Each of you has the ability. Think about how your head works when you're fishing, or something that you like, some art you're engaged in, knitting or crocheting, whatever you're doing, painting. I don't care if you're painting the house. There's still an art to it. There's still a drifting away of consciousness engaged in activity that allows us to see the conscientiousness that the Buddhists and Kierkegaard and Hegel and me think are so important. So as you walk through today, keep reflecting, double reflect when you can. And if you're with Raquel Welch, I'd triple reflect, maybe quad, just because you should. You never want to forget her. Y'all take care now. Peace out. All the way, man.